Today I fucked up by unlocking girlfriend's phone while drunk. I, 31M, have always been faithful and have respected the relationship with my, now ex-girlfriend, 29F, since she was my first girlfriend after like 9 years of being single. A couple of weeks ago she gave me the password of the cell phone when she was drunk, like inviting me to check her phone so that I could see who was talking to her so late, but didn't do anything, just laughed it off. I gave her my phone password a long time. I really have nothing to hide, mostly work. This weekend we were together, she got too drunk and left her cell phone on the living room sofa while she slept in my room. The little devil inside me made me go unlock the cell. What I found did not please me at all. I looked for keywords in messages like, babe, I miss you, I love you, kisses, etc. And to my surprise it highlighted multiple conversations with multiple guys. I found different kind of conversations. Some random and stupid things like babe can you connect me some weed? In others there were photos of her dressed very sexy sent to them. Conversations started by her telling them that she misses them. And also a conversation with a foreign guy that ended sending her his address and an invitation at her name to pass security at 3 AM. I know that I betrayed our privacy by looking at her cell phone, but I already smelled something was off. She felt strange and cold at times. I know that I deserve being respected and well, I can't tolerate this kind of actions. Last night we talked about it. She told me that it was just flirting, that she never cheated on me. I really didn't believe her and finished our relationship. Now I feel terrible, but at the same time a little more at peace. Didn't sleep well though, and she has a copy of my flat keys. Can you believe that it was just flirting? What would you do if you saw these? Too long didn't read, unlocking girlfriend's phone, found her flirting with multiple guys while she says never cheated on me, didn't believe her and finished our relationship. I think you are in the clear. Even if she was being truthful about not physically cheating, that kind of behavior is a red flag. I know it probably sucks, but I think you made the right decision. I had a similar experience and stayed in the relationship a while afterward, though. The trust was damaged and never truly recovered, which in turn made me see the relationship in a different way. I would go back and handle it as you did if I could. Reading this encouraged my decision. Thanks buddy, hope you're doing well now. This is the opposite of a fuck up. Thanks buddy, now feels terrible though. Even if it was flirting today, it won't be enough for her in time. I doubt it was just flirting. You don't send exes sexy pics with a miss you. Seems way beyond flirting to me. It's not something you do when you are in a relationship. I would say you are better off without her. You didn't fuck up. You saved yourself some heartache down the line. Today I fucked up by uttering gibberish for more than a decade in a foreign country. Obligatory, this didn't happen today but some years ago when I was still in Saudi. So I was born and raised in Saudi Arabia but can barely count in Arabic, but hey, I knew all the words I needed to survive. After all, I've been there more than a decade. For example, when I'm in a store, usually the ones near my school, I just pick up an item and show it to the cashier and confidently utter the magic words Hadifina Mushkila and then wait for the cashier to tell me the price of the item I'm waving around. And voila, with my nearly non-existent Arabic comprehension, I could pick out any food from a store and know if I could buy it. Thing is, I was recently in a car ride with my parents. We're now in our home country, and got to talking about the Arabic language. Everyone has a relatively good grasp on the language, and yet here I go flexing the only phrase I was confident in, Hadifina Mushkila. My dad blinked. My mom blinked. My sister blinked. The dog in the car next to us blinked. That sounds like utter gibberish, my mom said mid-laughter as they all laughed. No one knew what it meant. I challenged them to tell me what how much is this is in Arabic, and it was all so far off from Hadifina Mushkila. Whenever people learn that I grew up in Saudi, they'd always ask me to say something in Arabic and I'd smugly go straight to Hadifina Mushkila, and I'd then bask in the people's compliments of how authentic I sound. So I'm now going through this really rough patch of being in denial that I've just been uttering gibberish in stores my whole life, and I don't know what to do but share it to the people of Reddit and hope that someone knows what it means. To anyone who understands Arabic, does Hadifina Mushkila mean anything? Even if just by sound? Too long didn't read, I've been uttering gibberish for years back in Saudi in stores to know the price of a certain item. Learned now that I'm 23 that it was all utter gibberish. Edit. U/Kellyilk asked how I managed to not know the language. My dad worked for an airline company, Saudi Airlines, so we lived in this airline's compound with all the other foreign people they employed, and I went to an international school where Arabic wasn't common. We had Arabic and French classes, but I didn't really get to practice them since they weren't the common modes for gossip education and information dissemination. Also, a lot of the Arabs I've interacted with understood English pretty well. The television channels I watched as a kid were mostly in English too. Disney, Jetix kinda French sometimes since it's Canadian I think, but I loved the shows on that channel, etc. So unless Hannah Montana started talking in Arabic then I wouldn't really have much exposure to the language past the commercials. Edit number 2. I can't believe this is getting traction. I'll be ignoring my phone for a few hours and will be trying to catch some sleep before I get more excited than I am now. I'll try to reply to your comments, if there are, later. Edit number 3. I just woke up and wow, did this blow up. Based on the comments, I've apparently been saying some broken Arabic variety of this has a problem or we have a problem. For educational purposes, I asked my family and they told me Kam Hadi or Kam Harder would work depending on the situation. Hey bro, Hadi Fina Mushkila 350. I speak Arabic, seems like you're saying does this have a problem? But I can't be sure unless I actually hear you say it. Pretty much. Only instead of Fina it would be Fiha. Add equals this. Fiha equals has. Mushkila equals problem. It can be translated to calm down we have a problem or Hadi, which is a common name, Hadi we have a problem. Either way it sounds funny. The word-by-word translation is, Hadi, this, Fina, in us. Or in other context, can we? Maybe you picked up the word fiha wrong as it means, has. Mushkila, problem. Good effort smile. Me it sounded as if he or she was saying I want this. You got a problem with it? Google Translate says, Hadi we have a problem. This is great. You went for over a decade calling everyone Hadi and flexing. LOL. I hope it doesn't mean something worse than that, hahaha. TBH I don't know about the spelling but I just wrote how I pronounced it. Here's to hoping it didn't mean anything like putting my friends up for sale or telling them I'm a Hitler incarnate or something. Today I fucked up by shaving my ladybits too well, NSFW. TL, doctor I shave my downstairs and get a very dangerous infection that hospitalizes me. Edit, to clarify, shaving doesn't cause these cysts, they can be triggered by HPV, chlamydia or, in my case, totally randomly. My mistake was plying my cyst with shaving gunk and messing with it, and then to leave it too late to act. And even then sometimes you can do everything right and get an abscess. So shave away, but keep an eye on your downstairs before you do emo. Peeps, do not make my mistake. Actual today I fucked up was on Tuesday, so let's start there. So I decide that on this glorious day I would like to have the perfect, shiny cave that all men want and all women fear. If you've ever decided to do this you know avoiding ingrown hairs can be a real task. So I used my tried and trusted method, coconut oil sugar scrub to exfoliate, nice new razor over sensitive shave gel, moisturize. While I'm shaving I notice a small, pea-sized lump. Weird. Probably a spot. I ignore it and try my best to shave around it. This, my friends, was a fuck up. I go on with my day enjoying my nice slinky meat curtains, no problem. Wednesday. The lump hasn't gone and it is a bit sore. Actually it's kind of big now. Concerning. I figure I caught the area shaving and irritated it. Oops. I figure if it hasn't gone down by the next day I'll see my doctor. Thursday. My left hand side satin curtain is now the size of a small pet. I am unable to walk. This is not good. I contact my doctor, who says it is a Bartholin's cyst that has gotten infected and become an abscess. My doctor does not actually examine me because it's a phone appointment. Second fuck up is me letting this happen. They tell me to call back if it gets worse and take a stringent course of antibiotics. Friday. Things go from bad to worse. My kitty is swollen shut and I cannot pee at all. I have not peed since Thursday evening. I call my doctor back. The receptionist grumps at me and tells me that they can send someone out to see me. I can't leave bed at this point. By the time they arrive, late, I am crying with pain. I spend 4 hours in a busy, germy A&E in the worst pain I have ever experienced. I am given morphine, which makes me very sick. I am catheterized for the near future. I am far too sick all day to take antibiotics. Saturday. Spend the whole day in bed in horrific pain throwing up any and all water, meaning I cannot absorb my antibiotics. Third fuck up was not immediately going back to hospital. I cannot eat. It is terrible. Sunday. As I prepare to return to hospital, my cat circles my corpse like husk wondering if she can just eat around the huge growth near my left leg once I finally die or if she's best off not eating me after all. By the time I get there, the abscess is not drainable with local anesthetic. It needs full surgery. I have a fever of 102. I wait for surgery, which is delayed due to emergencies in other departments. Suffer for a good day. At 8 p.m., the abscess bursts. It is the most disgusting event of my whole life. I cry and shake for 2 hours. I am covered in pus and blood. I cannot shower until the morning. I cannot sleep because someone else in the ward is incapable of performing a single sensible thought and keeps waking me up. I lie awake the whole night dreaming of my own bed and not being in horrific pain. That brings me to now, lying in a hospital bed covered in gunk and desperately waiting for someone to take off my piss bag, throw me in a shower and send me home to grow my bush out. Never again. You will need to update and let us know what it actually was. My thoughts and prayers are with your flaps. Praying gesture. The amount of descriptors for your vagina is astonishing in this post. Get well soon, from the sound of it you deserve it. You do know that the Bartholin's cyst getting infected was not caused by the shaving. They happen and are related to the mucosal skin of the labia and not the hairy outside skin. Shaving was only coincidental to the abscess which would have occurred even if you hadn't shaved. Thank you for putting my mind at ease. I was momentarily terrified to ever shave there again. What causes this to happen? Question mark. What the hell? They couldn't at least clean the abscess fluid up. In their defense, it wouldn't have had a huge impact because of how much gunk there was and it was coming out gradually over the course of the night.